The topic for today is how to get a 2,000% return on investment selling online. And I actually want to bring up Jeff to explain what that means, because I got some emails back, actually one particular email back that says, hey, 2,000% return on investment is impossible. How could you say that? And so one of my email responses was explaining how that works. But I want Jeff, go ahead and take that over. What does 2,000% return on investment actually mean?
Sure. Well, that's a good place to start, because a lot of people confuse ROI, return on investment, with margins. They're like two different things, but a lot of people think that it's the same thing. And when I hear people talking, I can tell that they kind of conflate the two. So margin is the percentage of your sale price that is actually profit. So let's say you buy something for $5 and you sell it for $10. Well, that's a 50% margin, because 50% of the $10 is your profit, right? Mm-hmm. But ROI is return on investment, which means whatever you paid for the item, how many times did you multiply that by cost? So if you buy something for $5, you sell it for $10, that's 100% ROI. So it's 50% margin, 100% ROI. So if you're talking 2,000% ROI, that's like buying something for $1 and selling it for $20, which sounds, incredible to people that don't know this business. But for Greg and I, that's like a Tuesday. And I realize it literally is Tuesday today. Yeah. But seriously, that kind of stuff happens every single day. In fact, my last eBay sale about an hour ago was actually a 6,000% ROI, because I bought the item for 50 cents and sold it for $30. And no, I didn't jump up and down and do a big happy dance, because that happens all the time. It's literally all the time. And then what gets even crazier is when you get free stuff, which Greg will tell you, it happens all the time. And people will find out what I do, and they're like, oh, you sell on, well, I've got this stuff here. Do you want this? I'm like, okay. Do you want money for it? No. I just want to get rid of it. I've made thousands and thousands of dollars on stuff that people just hand to me. Just a few days ago, I had something I got for free. It sold for $100, and it was big and heavy. And the buyer lives in Puerto Rico. They paid me an extra $133 to ship it to Puerto Rico from a free investment. Now, if it's free, that's an infinite ROI. Whether you sell it for $5 or $500, it's an infinite ROI. So I hope that's clear what ROI is.
Yeah, that was perfect. And I also did want to mention, I did forget to say this at the top. If you have questions, we will reserve time at the end for questions. Our goal is to get everything in the webinar in under the hour. We are willing to stay on longer if there are questions for us to answer. So you can start posting them whenever you want, and we'll make sure to answer them at the end. But thank you for that explanation, Jeff. That's perfect. It's turning $1 into $20 profit. That's 2,000% ROI. We figured if I went up to 6,000%, that it would be too clickbaity. So we decided.
Yeah, I think my biggest calculated ROI actually was like 470,000%. I bought a record album for 25 cents and I sold it for $1,125.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing. I love
it. Buddy.
All right, Greg, I'll let you take over. I know that you got some stuff to present here, so go right ahead.
Okay, well, I'm going to try it up. The ROI we're talking about is like 2 or 3 weeks or a month or two sometimes. But if you hear a stock has an ROI of 11%, that's annualized. That doesn't mean that stock made 11% in 2 weeks. I mean, if you take a 2,000 or 6,000 ROI, Jeffrey, and multiply it by 12 plus to get the actual return in annualized, it'll knock the socks off your calculator. I mean, we're talking an annual return that's incredible, and it's so much fun. Okay, what tonight is about. Listen, our plan is to overwhelm you. Well, it might be too much. I know some of you, it might be too much for some of you. So we're just going to whelm you tonight, but we're going to show you how easy it is to turn what some people would call trash to cash. And I have a lot of information to give you here in a short time. So put your belts on and move your seats into their upright position and hang on, because I'm going to go quickly, okay? Basically, we're going to hand you free money tonight. We're going to, throughout this webinar, tell you about bolos. Now, bolos are be on the lookout for things you would have never dreamed, things you've walked right past before, things you've seen other people throw on the street corner, for the trash to come pick up. Although we don't just sell trashy stuff, even though I've used the word trash now twice in one paragraph. But we're going to show you some amazing things that you need to keep your eyes peeled for, because you're going to be shocked that they will bring you so much money. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to give you tools starting tonight. We're going to explain how to make more money than Leo DiCaprio earns at an all-women's fundraising event. I'm just telling you. So hang on. And we do it primarily with eBay, a website that consistently ranks in the top 10 to 12 websites, most popular, most visited non-adult websites in America. In the 10 to 12, 13 rank category, that's eBay is still huge. So some of you have used eBay before to possibly buy things. Some of you have used eBay to possibly sell things. Some of you have sold on other platforms like Amazon. Some of you are part-time resellers. Some of you are full-time. We don't care where you are right now. We show you how to skyrocket your income. And I know that sounds like hype. I know it does. Just wait. Just wait. The way we do it is through our group called Treasure Hunting Profits, THP. And I'm going to spend a few seconds tonight bragging on our group. So before we dive into your first money-making bolo, something that you need to be on the lookout for, and you can just flip it on eBay, incredibly easy. Let me say, Treasure Hunting Profits began about 3 years ago as an experiment. And that experiment was to train new and veteran resellers to eBay how to approach things far differently from the usual way others sell on eBay. What we wanted to do was show people how to buy items extremely inexpensively and resell them successfully and quickly for sky-high returns. And first, we don't ever require anybody to spend large, giant investments of capital. I mean, to sell on Amazon, honestly, if you know anything about it, you can be very successful, but it often takes giant bucket loads of cash tied up in inventory. And instead of 2,000 ROI, you're generally often making from 15% to 50% if you're really good consistently, if you're real good. And many become Amazon selling millionaires. So that's a perfectly valid approach. But we want to spend almost nothing to make our livings. And that's what we do. It's what Jeffrey and I do. And Jimmy is doing this more and more all the time since he's been in the group. He was a charter member of the group. To do this, we have to do two things. We must show people in Treasure Hunting Profits where and how to find items that cost pennies on the $5 and $10 bills. And two, we have to teach those people how to sell those items so they get more money and their items sell faster than any competitor trying to compete against them on those same items. In our group, once in a blue moon, one of our members will resell an item at 100% ROI, which means they doubled their money. And we consider that sort of a failure, right? I mean, man, you need help. Just doubling your money. It's about as useless in our group as the white Crayola in a 64 box of crayons. You know, that's about how useless doubling your money is. We don't want to spend $1,000 to make $2,000. We demand giant returns on our investment of very little money spent. So I think I've pounded that to death. To get a handle on what THP, Treasure Hunting Profits, is all about, the bird's eye view is simple. Our only mission is to show you how to source. Source is the term which means find things easily for very little money at shocking places, and then exactly how to sell it faster than other people do. And other sellers trying to sell against you, they will not be competition. You will be the competition. Just saying. To source ROI, return on your investments of 2,000% and up, we teach groups of products. We teach categories that are rarely looked at by other resellers. Our source is primarily threefold: garage sales, thrift stores, and yard sales. And that's basically all we do. Honestly, I go to garage sales in the summer and I pretty much don't source the rest of the year. I get plenty to source for the rest of the year. Almost 100% of the charter members who were here 3 years ago when we started the group, when we started this experiment, are still with us. And they will tell you their biggest regret is that we didn't open this group sooner. It's probably a true regret. So going down on our slide here, we teach categories of items. I'll kind of explain that better. We teach groups of products that are rarely looked at. Other resellers can walk into a yard sale or a store, but they'll go to different parts of the garage sale than we go to. I'll show you and explain some of that about how we do that and why we do that. To repeat, our primary sources are garage sales, thrift stores, estate sales, and yard sales. And Jeffrey adds a nice bonus category by teaching us all about going to auctions, don't you, Jeffrey?
Oh man, I love auctions. They are so much fun. And there's just certain strategies, and I teach some really, really specific strategies about how to work an auction, how not to be overwhelmed by all the, hype and noise and emotion that's going on. And, you can walk away with some just monster scores.
Yeah, and you show that over and over in our group. I mean, which just amazes us. But anybody can do it. It's not like,
that's right.
No big deal. Okay, it's time for us to hand you future money. This is your first bolo of the night. Be on the lookout for. And some of you might not be surprised. I think most of you will be. We want you to look for the bolos that we show you throughout tonight at garage sales that you walked right past in the past, before. It's time to hand you future income. And we're talking way back in the 1970s and 1980s. I'm way too young to understand some of these like Pioneer stereos from the 70s or 80s, but a lot of you are old enough to know what I'm talking about. Speaking of old stereos, turntables, receivers, things like that, let me show you one that we discussed in our group. This was a Pioneer receiver that someone from the, I think, early 80s that someone in the group discussed, bought at a yard sale or something for $5. An old 1980s Pioneer transistor and tube stereo receiver at a garage sale for $5. Well, who in the world would want that? Well, everyone in our group would want that. And this is so much better, though, than it first appears. $5 into $750, but plus he charged the guy reasonably, probably $85 in shipping, because these receivers, you'll remember they were really heavy. And so $85 to ship the thing. The buyer virtually always pays all shipping. We don't pay any shipping. Why? It costs us money. Why should we give free shipping? Our buyers almost always pay the shipping. But look closer. This is better than it looks. Let me help you out a little bit. The thing didn't even work. This seller sold it as is, no returns. And we don't even like to say no returns. We like everybody in our group to offer free returns because it increases sales dramatically. But that's beside the point. This seller said, I won't take it back. It doesn't work. Someone paid $750 plus $85 shipping, and it didn't even work. And it wasn't guaranteed for any reason. And I'm just telling you, if you sell on eBay, I truly feel bad for you if you ever compete against one of our sellers. I mean, I really do. That is a battle you will not win until our seller sells out of whatever it is they're selling. All right. To source a GROI, a giant return on investment, $2,000 and up. The place we sell again primarily is eBay. Secondary places that we teach: Facebook Marketplace, Mercari, Amazon, some Amazon. We show strategies on all of those. Also, we spend time showing any interested members how to buy and sell, even things like we have had training, very good training on how, because I gave it, on how to buy and sell guns and bullets on auction websites as legally and as easily as you sell drums and buckets. I'm telling you, there's no stopping our members from learning super easy ways to dominate whatever they want to sell. Our members do not know eBay. Our members are eBay masters. And I have to tell you more because it's so critical. Our members, I'm so proud of them. They're getting trained at the most, and I know this sounds hypey. I'm going to say that several times, but I'm going to back it up. I'm going to give you ways to know it's true. Our members are trained in the most advanced eBay training that has ever been attempted in the 25-year history of eBay. Simply put, there's just no training anywhere, not on any website, not in any Facebook group, not on any downloadable course, and certainly not on eBay's own training pages. There's no training anywhere on earth that's as advanced as ours, showing such an easy way of finding items to resell, which produce the most powerful sellers, and how to sell those items using very unusual tactics, much of the time. And one by one, including those who never sold on eBay before, our members are becoming top rated eBay sellers in like 5 or 6 months when they first join. And that's unheard of. That's the highest rated seller rating possible on all of eBay. And they're getting it in 5, 6, 7 months. And our own Jimmy Smith, he was a charter member 3 years ago. And Jimmy, you might or may not recall, but you told me in the second month, after the second month of our group, you sent me a message and said, doing some of this stuff, you've sold more on eBay since you joined 2 months earlier than you had almost a full year before that.
Yeah. There were actually products that were free too. I remember that.
Wow.
They were sent to me because somebody couldn't sell them on Amazon. They didn't want them anymore. And they ended up being, I think it was 4 or 5 sales for $900 or something crazy.
Wow.
Because they ended up being tennis shoes that I knew pretty well.
Yeah.
So it was, I got kind of lucky with that, but also a ton of other products that I actually have my parents listing on eBay, a lot of things now. And so it's kind of it's a fun little family thing that we've done.
And they're using our training. I guess you're telling them things to do. And
oh yeah,
unbelievable. Yeah, Free is my favorite brand of all items that I resell. But in addition to becoming masters of the universe, our members, they walk into an estate sale, a garage sale, a thrift store. They walk right past all the other resellers, buying the same old things they're always buying. You know, our members head straight to sections nobody knows to buy. Our members will tell you, again, we don't want competition. We are the competition. And you can be this too. Some resellers find that once they buy some items to resell, the prices start tanking and they can never make a profit. Our members will tell you, we just don't fear that. We don't fear price tanking. We show you exactly why. I mean, due to the nature of our business model on Treasure Hunting Profits, we almost always get rising profits or prices or the same prices. And sometimes an item might take a year to sell. That's not so common, but it happens. A long tail item, that's okay. You'll find that you don't have to tank prices the way that we do it. Again, we teach categories of items to sell, to resell. Please know we don't teach, we don't say, oh, here's a Nike you need to be looking for. Well, there are 1,000, I don't know how many models of Nikes there have been, trainers and all sorts of Nikes, running shoes. We don't say, find these 2, they're really a good buy. If you ever see them in a thrift store, that doesn't help you. You'll never see those. We teach categories. So for instance, right now, every 20 years, trends repeat. And every 40 years, because every 20 years, they repeat sort of again. And right now, from the 80s, what is popular, a lot of Nike shoes, if you can find old Nike tennis shoes in neon colors, they're really hot right now because in the 80s, neon was really popular. And in 2000, it was really popular again because people grow up and then they have kids and they're hey, look at these. And now we're seeing that Nike's in neon colors, and really about any sports, popular sportswear, anything neon, really bold neon colors can be good. And so you want to just gravitate towards those. You just want to know in general, this is what I'm looking for right now. You don't want a specific item, and you don't want to comp every single item in the store. Those of you who resell, you know what I mean whenever I say comp every single item to see what will sell. We don't mess with that. We comp a few things once in a while, but that's rare. For those, go ahead.
Can I just give a quick example of that?
Yeah.
We're talking about things cycling like every 20 years.
Yeah.
So I was at a garage sale and I saw some Pokemon wrapping paper, like birthday wrapping paper. And, the specific item, wrapping paper, who cares about wrapping paper? Okay. But I know that Pokemon, it's popular now, just like it was 20 years ago. And the wrapping paper was dated 2000. They had 5 rolls for $0.25 a piece. So my buy cost was $1.25. I sold all 5 rolls together for $100. So that's like a 10,000% ROI.
That's amazing. And people are going, the nerve of you naming this thing 2,000% ROI.
The heck are you doing buying wrapping paper? What's wrong with you?
Oh, you're a man. Men don't wrap good.
Right.
And we don't, but we wrap packages that we sell gift wrapping in. Well, we created, as you can see, and I know I'm bragging and I can back it up, we created an army of resellers that dominate what they sell. They simply can't easily be sold against. And many are now selling more items for more money, faster, for less investment than those who try to compete against them. I mean, 2,000, 4,000 ROI, common, same-o, same-o. As Jeffrey said, it's like a Tuesday for us, and this really is Tuesday. Treasure Hunting Profits members literally, and I'm an author, I know what literally means. They literally get more value for each penny they spend for this group than they've ever received in any training ever before. We know this because members tell us this constantly. They're always saying, we know that. I'm going to tell you in a minute what they're always saying. We know this because they post this constantly about how incredible this group is. They're so glad to be in this group. I'm going to show you another bolo right now, and you'll see another reason why they're glad to be in the group. This is kind of surprising. A lot of resellers, even those who do used eBay item sales, are going to think, I don't like this. How about we tell you a lifelong stream of income that will just blow your socks off if you pay attention. In thrift stores, we send our members to places, remember, that other resellers don't go. We want our members to look at artwork at yard sales, garage sales, thrift stores. And it's usually hard because it's always up on the walls like this, because thrift stores, no one ever wants to look at the art. I mean, they put $2 on all of them just because they have too many of them, and no one ever buys any of this stuff. They put them up on the wall. I climb up there and look at them. I mean, people, who on earth knows art, well, our members sure know. And if I do say so myself, and I do, I created the most unique class on how to know fast if you can make a lot of money on any painting or print that you see, framed, not framed. It assumes you can't even spell art. And I mean, that includes me. I'm a recovering public school graduate. I can't spell art either, but I sure know how to make a ton of cash on art when I see it. And again, no resellers mess with art generally. Who wants to ship a framed glass frame picture? Well, I do. If it sells for $500, I guarantee you I will love shipping that. Worst case, take it to a UPS store and pay them $50 to wrap it and ship it for you. But here are some tips. I can't tell you everything, but I mean, I'd like to, but I don't have 2.5 hours, which is what my class is, that in the group they all get. The first thing you do is stop looking at the front of that thing, turn it over and look at the back of the picture. The frame gives you all clues you need to begin with to know if a print or painting is worth money. The back of art is the wealth of the starting wealth. That's where Sherlock Holmes starts valuing something. And for example, on an older frame, if the corners are older, but they're mitered, and mitered means the 4 frame pieces come together in the corners diagonally, they come diagonally. That means it was framed in America. But if it's an older piece of art and all of the 4 sides of the back of the frame jut up against each other flat, they're not nicely diagonally mitered, that means it was framed in Europe 99.9999% of the time. And it's pretty nice to know that you've got a piece that was framed in Europe. That's a strong hint it was painted in Europe or printed in Europe if it's a print. And that's really good to know. And you'll know that instantly. From now on, you'll know that instantly. You look at an old picture, and if it's got non-mitered joints, you're going to go, wow, they were selling this for $2. I don't know if it's worth anything, but it's worth spending $2 just to see. And then I show you how to know instantly if it's a painting or a print. Not everyone knows how to tell. Prints can be worth money too, but paintings generally, there are a lot of exceptions. Paintings generally, because there's just one of those, are worth more than prints, which were, reproductions of a painting. So I show you how to know instantly if it's a print or a painting. I show you how to narrow down the date of the painting to a decade or two, often whenever it was painted or when it was framed, whether yellowing on the picture is from age, whether the artist intended it, or whether it's from cigarette smoke. That yellows a painting that hangs on the wall for 30 years in someone's home. It's important to know these things. If it's a very valuable painting, you'll want to pay someone to get that yellowing off the paint. Maybe it might be worth paying someone $300 to restore that thing. I don't know. On and on and on. After a 2.5-hour class that all of our members get, and this is just like one topic out of hundreds, literally hundreds. I mean, you won't believe how much information is here, but you will be able to walk into any thrift store and laugh at those people trying to make money on junky t-shirts. I mean, that's just no longer your life if you've been doing that. And the little secret that only our members seem to know is that in general, artwork makes a lot of money. And I'm not talking Picassos. I mean, I'm talking about just routine stuff you find at yard sales can greatly improve your wallet.
And Greg, I'll jump in real quick. When I know I mentioned my parents and I got them onto eBay a little bit more. They love to go to estate sales and garage sales. And so books, my dad is a book collector, but he's really good with that. But also art, they really do. They've bought art for like $20 and sold it for $250, $400 sometimes. Like, it's pretty amazing, the kind of deals that you can get if you know what to look for. So if anybody, by the way, my parents also like to watch Antiques Roadshow. So if anybody loves watching that show, you'll learn a lot about things to find out, oh, these are collectible or these are good to sell. So I just thought that was interesting.
Good point. And American Pickers, that was good for many seasons, and it's another good place. Yeah. But as you said, artwork, your parents take advantage of that. It's shocking how much you make on art. And it's a lot like costume jewelry. People have no idea how much that's worth. It's worth a fortune sometimes. And we're trying to bring people up to date on what costume jewelry is all about as well. So once our members, when they start banging down lots of unexpected income because they immediately look at a $5 painting and know it can bring lots and lots, this is when we start being asked, why didn't anybody else ever tell us this stuff? I don't know. I mean, is this hype? I mean, our members, no, they tear into a thrift store, a yard sale like a hobo devouring a ham sandwich. I'm telling you. Our members are large and in charge at every kind of sale they go to. And listen, just try us. I mean, if I'm lying about the massive amount of content not found on other reselling groups, you'll know in a matter of minutes. I mean, when you look through the hundreds and hundreds of videos in our course section, hundreds and hundreds of videos in our absolute beginners section, the hundreds and hundreds of videos in the other section, and we're rearranging these right now for a new presentation very soon to actually organize them even better. You're going to know like instantly if I'm telling you the truth about the amount of content in this group. It's going to blow you away. It will overwhelm you, but we try to systematically help you know how to consume the group that's best for you. We show you roadmaps on how to do that. I'm under describing what happens to your bank account whenever you follow this group. I mean, whether you're a veteran reseller or never sold on eBay in your life, I'm telling you, I wish each and every member of our group could be on this call and tell you, but that'd take us like 3 days because there are so many of them. But they will just tell you these things. No one ever, these questions, why never in our lives have we been taught these concepts? I don't know. It's because I know them. Jeffrey knows them. Doesn't mean other people know them. Why didn't we know these tactics were possible? I don't know. Why don't other reselling, garage sale, thrift store, and retail arbitrage groups show these things? I don't know. They're not us. Why have I been selling on eBay for over a decade? Many people in our group have asked me this, and nobody ever told me once what you just showed me. I don't know, but they will now. I will now. Jeffrey will now.
And real quick, since you mentioned, we actually have members on here. And so there's some comments here. Brian said, best group I've ever been in, loads of information and experience. And then Bobby said, I've been a member of this group since its inception. What these guys are saying is absolutely true. Just listening in as I'm listing on eBay. So great to see you both here and other people as well that have commented.
Sure is. I love our members. I give them a hard time on purpose because I don't want them to get a big head, but I really love, so I don't know. If you have items to sell but can't sell them, you wasted time and money. I mean, that's not what we want you to do. eBay's by far the reselling site that most of our members make the most money on. For those of you Amazon resellers that kind of just think eBay's sort of and you treat eBay understandably like kind of a stepchild that throw the returns I'm going to throw up on eBay and keep doing what you're doing. But you should bolt a true eBay business onto your Amazon reselling business using our tactics because you're going to be really shocked fast. I want to warn you that a shockingly large number of our resellers came from Amazon and they're kind of moving away from Amazon and moving towards eBay exclusively. I mean, not all of them, but a pretty surprising number are because our reselling model offers so much of a chance at such a giant return. But I promise we don't ignore Amazon. We don't in our group. It just mostly seems like it. It seems like we do because eBay is a platform that our members dominate. And you can't really dominate Amazon. If you're a reseller, you might have a good item for a month, that you create and put up there. But prices do start tanking, competitors do start coming in, and Amazon starts selling against you if you're really successful. And our members they dominate and prefer to sleep at night knowing that they're eBay sellers, that they're not getting account closure threats all the time. Like Amazon really is pretty bad about that. And our members sleep like a baby every night. They sleep like an eBay every night because it's such a pleasure to do business on eBay the way that we teach it. And more, okay? These are arguments we hear from Amazon sellers. eBay takes so much more time to list. Well, I explain from the introduction, eBay's simple, and we teach people exactly how to create listings in 2 minutes or so, or less. We show you exactly how to do that. But on eBay, you have to write long descriptions and describe everything that you sell. Yeah, you do, but you don't. As a matter of fact, eBay says we don't want long descriptions anymore. That was for the days when we didn't have things like item specifics, and we won't tell you what that is. It doesn't really matter now, but eBay has a lot of new things that you just don't need long descriptions anymore. We teach our members how to list quickly. But on eBay, you have to take photos of everything. Yeah, you do. That is if you want your listings to work for you, to sell while you sleep. If you want your listings to work hard for you, you take photos. Every time someone creates an eBay listing that's successful, there are usually lots of photos because buyers online can't reach out and touch your item. They need to see angles. They need to see everything about your item. We stress that photos probably are the time crunch of each listing. They're a necessary evil, but we show you how to do it easily. We give you tools on how to do them the right way. And guess what? Almost no eBayer on earth does their photos properly. We start off 0, class number 0, the one we force every member to watch before they do anything else, tells you how to do your photos on eBay. And guess what? It's just what the eBay help screen says. eBay just at each eBay Live conference every year begs their sellers, please don't do your photos the way you do them. Just follow these simple rules. No one does. We do. And eBay gives our members higher search engine ranking every time because of our photos, if nothing else. It really helps. We show you exactly how to do it. Last one. But on eBay, you have to ship every item. For those of you who don't sell on eBay or Amazon, if you want to sell on Amazon, what you do is you just send a huge box of everything you want to sell to Amazon. And then Amazon sells them all individually and Amazon ships them out. On eBay, you have to ship each and every one of those individually. That's nothing. That's nothing. We show you how to do that quickly. If you don't like packing and shipping, it's nothing. We show you how to do, we show you the tools to do it very quickly. We show you the packages to get to wrap some things like in 3 seconds or something. It's nothing. And we show you how to do it. We describe how to ship everything, coffee mugs, glass vases, quickly, safely, and cheaply. And speaking of coffee mugs, the very first night of Treasure Hunting Profits, 3 years ago, we recorded a webinar and we told everybody the next time you're at a yard sale or thrift store, garage sale, go straight to the glasses, the drinking glasses, and get all the Starbucks mugs that are 4 or 5 years old or older, because there's always a bunch of Starbucks mugs there. You'll find those a lot. By the next week, and I told them, you open that front door of that thrift store and go straight to those mugs. And by the next week, 4 of our members showed Starbucks mugs listing that would bring enough to pay 3 or 4 months of the group, which isn't very much, I realize, but that's still wonderful. They had actually gone out and did it. And as a bonus, we'll even tell you how to get free, clean shipping supply, a lot of free, clean shipping supplies.
Greg, I'm going to piggyback real quick off that the coffee mug thing. I had a friend that that saw in a local group, there's apps out there like Nextdoor app and stuff. Somebody was getting rid of like 50 different of those state collector Starbucks mugs for like $100. It was super cheap and sold for thousands of dollars after she bought those and sold them individually for $40 or $50 a pop. So it was pretty crazy.
That's amazing. Yeah, Jeffrey and I both sell a lot of those state mugs, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's great. Yeah, a lot of people go to yard sales and they don't want to tell the people that they're resellers. And I understand that. I used to hesitate, but the more people you tell, the more people give you stuff, or they
Oh,
say, "Oh, we've got all this other stuff. Are you interested in looking at it?" Oh, yes, I am.
yeah. I've,
Oh,
I've had people like go back into the house and say, "Oh, you like those old video games? I've got a box of them inside. Do you want those too?" Yes, sure.
they're kind of
Give me
dust.
money.
I'll give them to you, but if you don't mind a little dust, think about it. Okay. We've been talking high dollars, but I want to be realistic with you. There are incredible bolos that sell for $10. And here's one that you won't believe. Those vintage Sanford king size markers that your mom used, your grandmother used. With me, it'd be my great, 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 great grandmother. Um, they sell on eBay, those Sanford markers, red, blue, black, green. They don't even have to have, you don't even have to know how much ink is in, as long as they mark, as long as they have that funny smell that I actually like. I could probably get high on that stuff if I were the type of person to get high, but I'm not. But as long as they mark, they will sell $10, $11, and look, plus $4.25 shipping. I told you earlier, buyers pay the shipping. You don't give shipping away. That eats into your profit almost always. And you can't make deals if you do free shipping. You can't say someone makes you an offer of 10 or 15% less and you offer free shipping. You'll lose money that way. Don't do that. Don't charge for buyers are used to paying for shipping on eBay. It's no big deal. So these Sanford markers, or Sanford and Son markers might be good too. I don't know. But at your next estate sale, that's where a couple of old people died and they're selling everything in their house. It's kind of sad, but you walk around these people and just look in their drawers and stuff, open their desk drawers, go to the office, go to the home office and go in their desk drawers and see if they've got any of these markers. And you'll find that you'll take them up to the lady and say, "How much are these?" And she'll say, "I don't know, a quarter, a dime." Just take them. I don't know, because people are looking at the antique clock on the wall and she's looking at this $100 sale over here. And they often will give them to you or like a dime or something. I mean, it's amazing. They don't even have them out. Man, I open the drawers, I open cabinets, open closets that aren't open. I look everywhere for things like this. And I do need to correct something. Treasure Hunting Profits members actually learn this second class. They learn to go one other place at every estate sale before the office desk drawers. When you walk into an estate sale, if you're a Treasure Hunting Profit, you will run to the bathroom. That's the first place you go, because some of the biggest returns, thousands and thousands of percent returns, are typically found in an estate sale bathroom drawer, bathroom cupboard. So, and this is good. If any of you ever see me walk into an estate sale and I'm running to the bathroom, you'll know it's because I want to make money, not because of whatever else reason you think I'm in trouble with or something. But anyway, run to the bathroom. I'm going to go ahead and give you another bolo right now. I think it will shock you. It should. These ugly boots. These are Wart Boots. Wart Boots. Now, Wart Boots often they kind of look like this high topper, kind of, thick. This is a thick kind of a suede leather shoestrings, boot strings, but they almost always have steel toes in them. And you'll know if it's a steel toe. You just knock it against your palm and you'll know if that thing has a steel toe. That's what people really want. And Wart Boots start looking like this, and some people just throw them away. And this had most of these are my boots these are boots that I sold from a listing a couple of years ago, and they had that terrible tear on the front. Workmen don't care as long as it's got the steel toe and it's not like falling out or something. Now, they do want the soles. You need to make sure that the sole is well attached, because sometimes they're not. That's a loss. Don't buy those, or don't try to sell those. Anything else, they don't care how it looks. And I sold these for almost $40. Now, I sourced these. Where did I get these? On a curb in my neighborhood. Someone had a box on the curb on trash day, and it had those two work boots and some old golf clubs. And there is a sign on the box that said, free, take these. I'm sure they were thinking, you'll have them or the trash will pick them up. I don't think the trash would pick those up here, but maybe they would. But anyway, I sold those old golf clubs, actually on Facebook Marketplace local, because I didn't want to ship them, although nothing wrong with shipping golf clubs. I just thought, let's see if I can just sell them locally. And I did. $80 for those golf clubs. And it wasn't a full set, didn't have the bag, didn't have the putter, just most of the woods and irons, not all of them, on Facebook Market for $80. And by stopping 1 minute and loading those golf clubs and these old work boots that got me almost $40. That's like almost $120 I made just by driving by on these free items, because from Treasure Hunting Profits, I knew that work boots, give me that steel toe and I want them. I don't care how they look. Our promises. Okay. You better take notes. Our very first foundational video, I want all new members to watch. I included, and you'll have to hear them again, the promises this group adheres to. And when you hear these for the first time, you're going to probably call me a liar. These promises sound like lies. I challenge any of you to join for a month or ask anybody in our group which of these promises we don't fulfill. And I believe you'll say, oh, they go way beyond this. Way beyond. They far under promise whenever you hear that. They over deliver every time. Number one, over the next few weeks, if you want treasure hunting profit type of training and you participate in our training, I will make sure that you dominate eBay for the items that you sell. I promise that your eBay selling competitors will quickly learn. They'd rather mainline Drano than compete against you. I'm just telling you, that's the conclusion they'll come to. Number two, in the very first class, we're going to give you a bolo. In class number 1, we're going to give you a bolo, be on the lookout for, that will blow your mind. And I'm not going to tell you what that one is because it's too good. And we demonstrate this bolo on eBay, and we show you that you've been walking past this junk for not tens, not hundreds. You've been maybe thousands of dollars out, depending on how many of these you've seen many times in your life. And neither you nor anyone else around you have a clue that these are worth so much money. But the day after you learn about this bolo, you're going to start looking for these and asking people if you can have them. And they're going to think you're nutty. And even better, ask if will you take $1 for all of them? And they're just, yeah. And I promise that when you pay $1 for these bolos, as I said, they're going to think you're crazier than a New Year's Eve in a nut house for wanting something so worthless. And it's going to blow you away what you make on these things. Number 3 promise. You'll walk into a garage sale or a yard sale with very little cash, scan what you see, and know instantly what table to go to next. You won't just look around. A lot of times you'll just scan. I'm going there. And many times it will be where no one else is. No resellers have picked over. Next to you, other resellers next to you, they're going to find things more slowly than a one-legged dog on tranquilizers. I'm just telling you. My 4th promise to you, will give you a living document, one with tens of thousands of dollars of bullion, of bolos, of treasure hunting bolos, money that you can use immediately to find treasure. It's a living document, meaning we continually update it. It's always downloadable, the newest version. It's always dated, so you know that you have the latest one. We always update in color the latest updates, so you always know what's new. And I promise you will tear into your next thrift store faster than your middle school had baby showers. I'm telling you. Number 5, we'll show you how to take advantage of an app called Evernote. Not everyone does that. Everyone should, but not everyone in our group does this. So you won't have to look up every item that you see if it's a good buy or not. Next to you, other resellers in the Salvation Army will be left in the dust. They will be left. You'll make them look too stupid to attend community college. That's my promise to you. Promise number 6, we will hold back nothing. We'll give you time and time again more treasure hunting tips than customers at a Cincinnati Waffle House at 10 p.m. on a Saturday night. Every single tip and trap we know, and there's a wealth of knowledge if we do say so ourselves, and we do. We'll constantly make you videos, PDFs, Evernote documents for those who know the importance of those over the next many months, years. We have for 3 years. We will continue this pace. It's an incredible pace. Our members just go, I can't watch everything. Well, no, you can't, because there's just too much. But you can watch what? seems to pertain to you the most, and you can learn what you want to learn. We'll take you to garage sales and auctions and thrift stores and film things when possible. We'll demonstrate shocking thrift store finds for real men out there watching tonight, because we show you how to buy perfume and ladies' dress shoes that make you so much money. You won't feel embarrassed whenever you take them up to the Salvation Army counter to buy them. I mean, compared to you, other resellers' skills are going to look worse than Yoko Ono's singing ability. I'm telling you. That's true. Number 7, promise to you. We make you a listing and shipping speed demon. You'll be listing, photographing, listing, selling, listing, finding treasures faster than the Kardashians go through plastic surgeons. And number 8, I promise you that finally we will show you everything, answer every question, give you major resources, discuss super duper tips to adopt, hone every single skill available to the treasure hunting, seeking profits. So you're a fine-tuned piece of sourcing and selling machinery. The resellers in your town, I promise, other resellers, they would rather give CPR to Rosie O'Donnell than see you at the same garage sale they're at. And as I say, every word, every promise is actually understating the quality of content that I give you, that Jeffrey gives you, that Jimmy gives you, and it will be found no other place on earth. And you're going to find out immediately if I'm telling the truth. Now I'm going to let Jimmy tell us more.
Hey, thank you so much for checking out that webinar with Greg Perry and Jeff Clark from the Treasure Hunting Profits community on how to get a 2,000% return on investment selling online. And as we mentioned in the beginning of the video, that is taking $1 essentially and turning it into a $20 profit. Those types of things happen all the time in Greg and Jeff's business. And that's what they try to help teach you to look for with those bolos that we were talking about on the webinar, as well as in the Treasure Hunting Profits community. So if you're interested in joining a community of sellers that are looking to crush it on eBay, separating themselves from the other sellers that are out there, head over to askjimmysmith.com/eBay. The link is below and in the description to be able to check that out, see if it's a good fit for you. Hop in there. They're great guys. Over 900 videos at the time of this recording, 36 pages of bolos, and so many other perks for being a part of that community. Now, as always, I didn't get to mention it at the top of this video, but there is a contest running on this to win a free copy of my Amazon best-selling book, Side Hustle to Full-Time Income, on how to make a living, a scalable living, selling on Amazon. And you can win a free copy of that by dropping a comment down below, subscribing to the channel, and tuning into the next video that gets posted, because that's where I post the lucky winners from the prior video in the next video that comes out. So hopefully this video helped you and blessed you, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day and a blessed rest of your week.